fishing app. Hungarian, very few in the world. Whoa. Ultimate countercurrent chromatography instrument, period. It's the coolest thing on the planet, super complicated. There's like, I got a book on it if you want a recommendation about it. It's really, really cool.
You're looking at 250,000 square feet between 7 different facilities. We have over 100 rotovapes. During COVID, we made hand sanitizer. So I had some 800-liter stainless steel reactors, 350 employees just for this. Production, R&D, tablet pressing, and then formulations and packaging and shipping. It's a finished product. So inside of there's a bottle. And then the rest of the company is about another 150 people on the cannabis side. It's no secret American Shaman makes the highest quality CBD products in the world. But did you know they're made right here in Kansas City?
Vince Sanders is the founder of American Shaman, a cannabis company that was at the forefront of industrializing the production of 7-hydroxymetragenine.
We're well known for making cannabis products. Like this. And people started contacting us to see if we could make mitragynine shots. This is early 2020. So I just started reading all the papers I could find on kratom.
The cure the drug overdose.
It can be a life-saving intervention.
Or a killer herb. We investigate kratom.
I had never heard of it before we did the show. I was polling the audience informally. Most of them have not.
And I came across a 2019 paper that the NIH had done and looked at mitragynine as a potential novel opioid replacement on a rodent study for anxiety and pain. What they came to the conclusion of is that, yes, this worked really well for both anxiety and pain management, but it wasn't the mitragynine. The mitragynine was a prodrug, and that their liver was converting 10% of mitragynine to 7-OH.
It's called 7-hydroxymitragynine.
7-hydroxymetragenine.
7-hydroxymetragenine.
7-hydroxymitragynine. Some people say metragenine as well.
And it was kind of an open call. Hey, looks like a potentially safe novel opioid. Big Pharma, come check this out. So I started digging around. I couldn't see anybody doing that, which was amazing in the midst of a huge opioid crisis. So I went to our scientists that were doing cannabinoid stuff, and I said, listen, stop all this. Solely focus on the 7-OH.
Did you know going into this that it would be so controversial?
It's being compared to opioids.
Can act like an opioid.
It's not just like an opioid. It is an opioid.
It is not an opioid.
And they're marketed for children. They're gummy bears. They're bright colors. They're candy flavored.
We withstood immediately the AKA, but the biggest attacks came from the GKC. GKC, Global Kratom Coalition, which is funded by Botanic Tonics. It's a guy named Jerry Cash, a very unsavory character.
Which is Feel Free.
Which is Feel Free.
Which is not 7-hydroxy.
Correct.
So the Feel Free guy is anti-7-hydroxymetragenine.
Very much so, yeah.
Why would the kratom industry be pushing back on your kratom alkaloid?
Kratom sales started to plummet, traditional kratom sales. So they thought, if this is who's causing us to lose revenue, we'll just get them legislated out.
I know there's some legislation in the work to get 7-OH specifically scheduled.
The FDA is going to be recommending that the DEA consider 7-OH as a Schedule I controlled substance.
Due to all the pressures that the kratom industry had put on us with the legislators that, oh my God, this is the next fentanyl wave and all that nonsense, we didn't have time to actually get our own ideas in place. We simply were fighting for existence and stopping these ban bills. When the press started complaining about it, I invited them in. I was like, come on, see what we're doing. Nothing hidden here. This is not this terrible synthetic drug. This is, here's what we're doing. Here's how we're doing it. I'd be happy to show you exactly how we make it.
So our starting material is the kratom leaf itself. That goes into an extraction. Right now we use D-limonene and a screw press, and that gets us about 75% mitragynine. Then that gets transferred over here. We start off with this reactor.
A centrifugal pump is used to transfer 850 liters of methanol into a 2,000-liter reaction vessel, followed by 8 kilograms of 85% metragenine kratom leaf extract, 600 liters of water, and a 50-pound bag of Arm & Hammer sodium bicarbonate. A sample is taken for HPLC analysis.
So here, dip it.
As the bicarbonate buffered metragenine solution is continuously stirred at room temperature, 8 kilograms of oxone in an aqueous slurry is added, followed by 600 liters of dichloromethane. Inside the reactor, metragenine's electron-rich indole C2 to C3 pi bond attacks the electrophilic terminal oxygen of potassium peroxymonosulfate, the active oxygen transfer component of oxone. This diastereoselective oxygen transfer dearomatizes the pyrrolic portion of the indole, generating a transient oxygenated intermediate, possibly an epoxide.
That might be wrong. I need to double check that, but I'm fairly certain that's correct.
I saw a paper that suggested that. I'm wondering about this epoxidation.
We're fairly certain, according to the link read, that's what is going on.
Possibly an epoxide that undergoes intramolecular proton transfer to yield the indolinene product 7-hydroxymetragenine. A sample of the reaction mixture was compared to the metragenine reference on HPLC.
See if that does something. Okay, it's 2 to 5. Buddy that I've known since high school, like we've been friends since 9th grade. He did heroin, he did fentanyl, and 7-OH got him off of it. Like, a lot of the time, right, people will hear other people talk about it and they're like, oh, well, you know, that guy drinks the Kool-Aid because he works there, you know, all this stuff. But it's like, I watched that happen. Like, he's alive because of this stuff. And it's always weird to me that they want to just get rid of it. There's not even a fight for, let's just pull it off the shelves and put it into clinical trials, anything. And it's frustrating to see.
So we have a starting material sample. We're expecting to see an almost completed reaction, if not a completed one. And then on your 8 kg, you'll see 3. You'll see a byproduct, a product, and then your starting material if it is still there. And you'll see it grab the first sample right now.
Where does the metragenine come from?
Like, is in the word or like?
Like, where do those sacks of metragenine come from?
The sacks come from our extraction facility.
Oh.
But I think we've moved out of that facility because of the Kansas line. That facility was in Kansas, and they've scheduled kratom as a whole over there.
Every customer I've talked to, they all say the same thing. They're just going to order it online. Prohibition don't work. It is what it is.
So you're not doing any more metragenine extraction?
No, we're not allowed.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks a lot.
As of 2 weeks ago, we had to completely shutter that facility, laid 50 people off, have pulled all the equipment, got all the materials out of there. Since the ban, absolutely nobody has ordered, right? Everybody's just trying to get off their stock, scared to death. So, right, literally Friday, we laid off 300 people. Let that number settle in.
After HPLC shows the metragenine has undergone at least 80% conversion, the stirring is stopped and the DCM is pumped from the reactor into a 400-liter stainless steel transfer vessel. And vacuum fed into a series of 10 50-liter rotovabs, where the DCM is stripped and recycled for use in future oxidations.
So it's derived from kratom, but experts are warning that it's a lot more potent and a lot more serious than just natural kratom.
7-OH is not natural.
You can think of 7-OH as going from amphetamine to methamphetamine.
It's almost like comparing kratom, like a Percocet 5 to an Oxy 80.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's right back to reefer madness. That's what it feels like, right? It's 1930s reefer madness, 7-OH madness. You know, I say on the lobbying side, we crushed the kratom industry. But on the propaganda side, I mean, they killed us. They just killed us.
That is Vince Sanders, one of 708's loudest proponents. Fun fact, he was once a car salesman slash large-scale illegal marijuana dealer. And even funner fact, after he was arrested in 2000, his attorney argued in court to void his prison term, citing, among other things, the tax revenue lost from having the #1 Acura salesman in the US behind bars. And I shouldn't go to prison because I'm America's #1 Acura salesman might be the saddest sentence of all time.
It is what it is. But, you know, I've never backed down from any of it because I have no question that the overall good is vastly greater than any of the bad. Well over 2 billion servings at this point of 7-OH. No single death attributed to solely 7-OH. You know, there's anything that 7-OH was in somebody's blood supply, they had, you know, they're polypharmac, 6-8 different substances in there. So we know this is an incredibly safe substance. Why would we get rid of it and potentially open up something that's not safe? Because that's most likely what will happen. When they dramatically cut down on opioid prescriptions after all the oxy scare, that worked well. The opioid dose doubled in a few years. Yeah, they immediately went to heroin, and then cartel said, oh, wait a minute, no, this fentanyl's a whole lot cheaper and easier to bring in. We'll do that. And then they really jumped. This is whatever they replace 7 with is going to be more dangerous than 7. I pray if they bring something in, they bring 7 in. So at least it's safe if they don't cut it with something.
Yeah, this will do 2D, proton, oxygen, phosphorus, carbon, nosies, cozies. I think it'll even do 3D. There's a lot of people in chemistry that are like hyper anal about exactly how you do everything in the correct Amundo way, and you can get as complicated as you want.
He's talking about me. I am like this.
It's a pretty big investment.
Yeah.
Why'd you go for it?
Well, because we're doing lots of R&D, and everybody was convinced that to really know what we were making, that we needed something like this. As long as we're allowed to exist, I don't mind whatever the regulations are, how high that bar might be. We'll meet them. And the people that can't meet them, then maybe they shouldn't be in it. Although dealing with people like the FDA and things have been a nightmare, they've only made us better at the end of the day, and we'll continue to get better.
The crude 7-hydroxymetragenine is then redissolved in 45 liters of methanol, and a peristaltic pump is used to transfer the solution into a 200-liter glass reactor where it's purified via liquid-liquid extraction. The vessel is charged with 75 liters of nanopure water, followed by 35 liters of an ethyl acetate hexane solution, and then the methanoic 7-hydroxymetragenine. I just watch all these arguments cross the same divide, where on one side you have someone saying it's not doing anything bad, and then on the other side you have someone saying it's doing something very, very bad. And the not bad people say not bad, therefore no prohibition, and the bad people say bad, therefore prohibition. But prohibition shouldn't even be part of this equation to begin with. It's a health medical problem, not a criminal one. And so even if you hate it, even if you think it's terrible, even if you think no one should ever take it, prohibition is not a good solution because it will interfere with science. It will result in it becoming a criminal concern where people are arrested for it. It will only cause problems, and of course, if new opioids will emerge inevitably.
And this caught us completely flat-footed. We didn't have an inkling it was coming. It was like some kind of black ops operation. It was total silence. It just showed up.
Who do you think initiated it?
Well, I don't know if I want to say on camera. I'm a little worried, right? I mean, I personally think it was Mullins.
These individuals that are selling it know what they're doing. They know the individuals are targeting. They know the loophole and sell it as a dietary supplement.
Senator Markwayne Mullin has been a vocal critic of 7-hydroxymetragenine, a position industry insiders think was influenced by his $500,000 to $1 million stake in Botanic Tonics, the manufacturers of a competing kratom product.
As head of Homeland Security and a large investor in Botanic Tonics, I have a feeling those New York Times articles and stuff shook him up and pissed him off. It's like, all right, well, fine, let's kill this. And then you also have Kinley, who's a personal friend of J.W. Ross's. By just a crazy dealing of the cards, we've got two cabinet secretaries that are directly connected.
We're looking very seriously at natural 7-OH and getting that approved, natural 7-OH. And we'll take a look at that very strongly. I think Oz and everybody will look at
Pretty weird set of circumstances, but that's what it is.
As the two phases are mixed, organic impurities and inorganic sulfate and bicarbonate salts from the oxidation partition into the aqueous phase, while the 7-hydroxymetragenine remains in the upper organic layer. The upper layer is pumped into a different series of 50-liter rotovapes, where the hexane and ethyl acetate are stripped, and the 7-hydroxymetragenine puffs into a solid foam that is manually scraped and processed with a blending apparatus, before being transferred into baking dishes for removal of residual solvent traces in a vacuum oven. How much time is there?
August 6th is, I mean, if it goes horrible, August 6th is when it could stop. Not a lot of time. The big call to action would be, please visit the HHS website and leave your testimonial of what 7-OH has done for you, how it's made your life better. And if it's made it worse, leave that, right? But let's just put the truth out there.